Hey, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another reading. This one is going to be just a general update. A little bit of background noise today, but try and ignore it if you can. Just a little bit of squeaking and creaking. I'm living in a rustic place at the moment, let's just say that. Beautiful, but rustic. Older wooden timbers and stuff like that, so quite a lot of background noise. So yeah, generally this is going to be just an update from Spirit, no introduction needed, but obviously as always feel free to pause the video. Pile 1, Pile 2 and Pile 3. We'll get stuck into pile number 1s. Okay, your general update, pile number 1s. So I don't know if I messed it up from the camera now. Okay. That's kind of the visual that was coming through, so I'm going to give you some kind of keywords. There was like looking out into the distance. That was a vibe coming through. It was also reminding me of, if you're familiar with my Instagram page, there's quite a lot of illustrations I do where someone's kind of like looking off a cliff or looking off into the distance. It's kind of got this energy, but there's a difference here, which is like there's this energy here which is somehow kind of captivating that person. So it'd be the equivalent of, like, let's say this was a cliff and there was sea, but then a shooting star comes along and flies up to this viewer, bursts a ray of light, and then zips back off into the sky. Do you see how we've got that context of looking into the distance, contemplating, reflecting, possibly just even enjoying the moment, enjoying the view. And then there's this scenario which plays as something quite miraculous. So like an update actually for you, pile number 1s, just to kind of zoom in with like a logical explanation of this. This really reminds me of like something spontaneous happening. So let's say if you're having a moment of just like going for a walk in the evening, or maybe having a little weekend holiday for yourself. I wasn't really getting the vibe here of 2 people or more than 1 person. So this seems quite self-reflective in terms of the energy. It reminds me of being in that self-reflective energy and then something spontaneous happening. If that's a shooting star, sorry if my voice is going, by the way, I'm kind of just getting over a cough. If that's a shooting star, or possibly even seeing something through your third eye, like something that's not literally there, but you're seeing it spiritually, or maybe even physically, who knows. But it's kind of got that vibe. So pile number 1s, I think that's just something to look out for. I think the message which you're going to get from this is personal to you, but this is Spirit kind of just giving you a bit of confirmation of something that's going to happen in your life, so pay attention to it, it's important. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, pile 1s. I'll see you in the next one. Please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Okay, poem number 2. Excuse my voice. Just getting over a little bit of a dry cough. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you see? What do you feel? Quite quick readings today. Realign that into the center for you. Okay. So the vibe I was getting for this originally was a flower and the sun. I was almost hesitated to say that actually because it's like, what did come through first, the sun or the flower? Anyway, Spirit wanted you to hear the flower first. I think it was meant to be the sun first, but I guess it's flower. I don't think that was an accident. It's interesting because there is a sunflower as well, isn't there? There's a flower called a sunflower. So let me give you some more vibe words and see if that kind of is again a coincidence that it's linked together there, or yeah, we'll see. So I kind of got more personally of a vibe of the sun here, but Spirit is clearly leading the way with how this reading is going to be explained, because flower came through first. So I was picking up on the energy of a sun, and these were almost like certain rays coming off the sun. Maybe that you're gonna, yeah, that's making sense. Like certain rays of the light were giving you messages. I believe people refer to that as like light codes. You might be familiar with that term or maybe not. But these were light codes literally from the sun. So in the same way that, you know, we can receive radio waves or certain frequencies from technology, or even nature, certain frequencies for sure. Or I was going to say even animals, but what was coming through here was like, you see how you've got maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. There were like literally like important messages coming through, you know, like I don't know why Spirit is showing this to me in this way, but it's like you know how you can almost get like emails, and then some emails that you get are just spam that go to your junk email, and then there's certain emails which are really important from very important people. Spirit was giving me this message that, you know, you've got 4 important messages coming through, especially these 2 here, which is giving me like twin flame energy. These are significant messages, so it's like Spirit's trying to almost give a metaphor here of, we're obviously receiving these kind of light codes and light messages all the time, but they're not of all the same importance or all the same significance. I'm also getting this kind of link to like your life purpose. I'm getting like vibes of Akashic records, like this would be something significant in the chapter. If it was a book, this would be the moment where, I guess if it's twin flamey that you meet that person. If it's career based, this is when you nail that client or win that job. It's kind of got that kind of vibe to it. So there's a possibility here of 4 different things coming through. I'm going to take this quite literally because I feel like this has... Okay, no, we're still good. I feel like these dotted lines are kind of representing kind of like timelines as well. So this relationship here is reminding me of like it's got a longevity. It's going to last. Whatever this one might be that you might feel that it is, it's kind of long as well. And then this one is maybe more of a short burst coming through, but it's maybe short-lived, you know? And it's reminding me of like the rays of the sun when they zoom into the sun and you see all the different flames like coming off it. It's like some kind of explode out and then some are kind of just internal and small. It's kind of giving me that vibe. So look, I'm not sure if Spirit wanted to give that same analogy possibly with a flower. I guess you could relate it to almost like pollination. You know, imagine like bees or insects going inside to get the pollen and journeying it out into different ways or different hives. But I don't know. I feel like I feel like Spirit gave me the nod there, like I explained it well with the sun. So I'm going to leave it there, Pal Twos. If you enjoyed it, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. And again, sorry for my croakiness today. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, pile number 3 is... Apologies for my croaky voice today. What do you see? What do you feel? Beautiful. So, pulled the paper too far off wasn't trying to show off my sexy marble table or whatever it is. Haters gonna hate. I don't know, this might be part of your energy. Pile number 3's. Sometimes you've got to hide your abundance. Sometimes in life you've got to hide it. I know we live in a society where it's all about showing it off because everyone's so shallow that you have to kind of show off your abundance for people to believe that you have it. And then you have people who are just faking the hell out of it. It's all very complicated. I'd say keep things in the shadows, part 3, if this message is relating to you about abundance. It's easier to have less people knowing about your business than more people. That's what I've come to realize. The more you show, the more of a target you can become. So is this possibly a target? What do you see? What do you feel? I did get something coming through, but I want you to pause on it and see what you got. Because I think the obvious thing here would be like a flower. But actually, energetically, it was very much not. But, you know, sit on that energy. Pile 2's almost had also had a little hint of a flower too. So if you was drawn to that pile, I recommend you have a look at it. But yeah, have a sit and see what you get from this, because I really like it as an illustration. But what do you get? So what Spirit was given me was actually a diagram. And it's funny because as I said that, Spirit kind of gave me more information, which was like giving me a memory. And I think I've said this before in a reading, maybe possibly one reading. You know, I've got quite a lot of videos now, so this isn't common for me to say. But the diagram this reminds me of, actually, which I didn't even realize until I said it's some form of data or graph, is there's something called a wind and swell diagram, which is a diagram to calculate the wind and the swell of the waves or the sea or the current, right? So it's anyone who's maybe into surfing is maybe more familiar with this, although I'm not sure if it's just, you know, anyone who's kind of got boats or anything like that, he might be familiar with it. It's basically, so the way that the sea, or I'm not even sure if you could say the ocean, but basically when you're on a coast, there's two types of ways that you have to calculate the waves of the coast. So you've got the waves that are influenced by the wind. So if you kind of watch a weather program and stuff like that, they will show often maybe a simple breakdown of the wind and the swell of the area. So you've got the wind, which is obviously created from the sky, basically. And you've got the swell, which is actually to do with the current of the sea or the coast or the ocean. Again, don't quote me on the similarities of the two, because I know that obviously the sea and the ocean work completely differently, which is why I'm hesitant to be too sure about what I'm talking about here. But essentially, there's the current that comes from, I guess you could say, the sea, right? And that's where we get the ideas of, you know, the moon having influence on the waves. And it's also, the swell is also like just the natural flow of the sea, right? Because the sea is water and the sea has movement, and how that moves, there is a natural flow to it, just like us. You know, like you maybe would say, humans don't have a movement flow. But you'll soon change your mind as soon as someone puts, I can't remember what the word is, but you know when you fast forward something, you zoom out and then you fast forward it, and then you will see like all the cars move in, all the lights, all the people move in, and you'll quickly realize that as soon as you zoom out and then fast forward that shit, there's definitely a flow in how we move. So anyways, part 3 is, I feel like I rambled there, but hopefully I've given you some knowledge. It's like, maybe you're applying that into your life. Maybe you're coming to an understanding of the wind and swell of your life. It's like, it reminds me a little bit of, you know, like I've been thinking about it recently. So maybe that's something Spirit just wants me to share with you. It's like, really start to understand what is your movement, which would kind of almost be like the wind, even though that's not the best example because we don't have control over the wind. But like, imagine if you were in control of the wind, and then the swell is something which you can't really control, the natural flow of the sea, right? And spirit is kind of saying, so what parts are these things that you're doing, and what parts are these things that you don't have much control over? And why this is important, someone might say, oh man, this is a shitload of overthinking, and you could be right, but why it's important, or why it's been helpful for me, is because when someone says the saying of like, let go of the things that you can't control. I didn't really find much value in that statement because I couldn't identify which were the things that I could control and I couldn't control. So when you kind of give yourself a little bit of a break or a clarification on, oh man, this is just out of my hands. There's certain things in life which are just out of your hands. When you can do that, you can go, okay, well that's the swell. That's the natural flow of God and the way that God wants things to be. And then that wind is like, that's the thing, that's me sailing that boat. I can control a little bit of that. And it might not be in a way which is like the Almighty God, but it is in the way of discipline. Okay, I can do that. I can wake up this time and do this. I can work on my business or on my career or my job. I can work harder on my relationship with my friends or my family or my lover. I can keep my house or my apartment or my home tidy today. I do have control over that, And Spirit wants you to kind of just think about that. Even maybe if you're anything like me with my Virgo moon, write yourself a list, and say, what are or even like if it was like, these are my stresses right now. Which are the things which I can control and which are the things I can't? And another tip for you here, Palfreys, I hope this is helpful for you, is that another sign of something that you can't control is like when you're trying your absolute best. That's a good sign that it's out of your control. So if it's that job, and let's say you wanted that promotion, and you were trying your absolute best, you've talked to the person, you've talked to your boss, you've put in extra hours, you've blah, 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 and it just ain't happening. Not the best example, but do you know what I mean? There's certain things where that's a good way to see it's like it's out of your control there. And the reason why that's probably not happening for you is because maybe that's not your path, A. Or two, there's something divinely timed about it. It's like someone might leave your office and there might be a perfect pocket for you to come in then, opposed to when you want. So yeah, just a little kind of parting message, Palfreys. Keep the small things in order and let the bigger things be to God, and be for God to handle. Kind of just got that coming through there. And that's your reading. I'm going to leave you on that beautiful message and take some inspiration from it myself. Palfreys, if you enjoyed the reading, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. You're crazy if you haven't checked it out already. Got some bonus videos and products and stuff on there. It's a great way to support what I do over here. And for now, I'll leave you to it, Palfreys. Have an awesome morning, evening, afternoon, day.